we're on to flower number 29. So I'm gonna grab that and a light yellow, make sure I'm on my own layer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp that down. That's really big, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller with my arrow tool. And we wanna add another layer inside that in teal, so I'm gonna swipe left on my layer, tap duplicate, grab a darker teal color, and then just drag and drop to fill that. Use your arrow tool to resize. Make sure you're on uniform. If you're on freeform, it'll get all wonky, but if you're on uniform, it will stay the exact same shape. So I'm just gonna make that a little smaller and then center it up within the yellow. Now we're gonna add some simple lines to that. So I'm gonna add another new layer, go all the way back to my basic monoline brush and white, and now we're just gonna draw some straight lines. A little too big, I'm gonna reduce the size. And now if you put your pencil down and hold it, as I've shown you in past videos, it'll make a perfect line. And we're just gonna do one that goes through each petal. So this time, so that they all come from the same corner here, I'm gonna start from there and then just hold to create those perfectly straight lines. 2-finger tap to undo if it's a little off. This is one of my favorite tools or features of Procreate because I'm horrible drawing a straight line without a little help. So since we don't have a ruler on Procreate, that is the perfect way to get your nice straight lines. So now we're gonna add a few background details. So what we wanna do is add a new layer and then tap and hold to bring that all the way to the bottom. So we can do a lot of these on the same layer. So first I am going to use a medium pink color and just add some little lines here for where we'll add our stamen on. And I will then grab the blue color, and I used Folk Art Flower number 5 for these. That's really big. So we'll size that down, and actually I'm gonna put these on their own layer as well. That way they're easy to adjust. So I'm gonna stamp those down on their own layer. And now if I wanna adjust them, I can go back and use the selection tool and adjust the angle if I need to. And it's just a lot easier to do that when things are on their own layer. And I want these to look a little imperfect, not all going the exact same way. So I'll just adjust them all a tiny bit. And we're gonna add a dot to the center of each. You could do that on its own layer, but since it's pretty simple, need to go back to my monoline brush. You can really just do it on the same layer. Need that to be a little bigger. So just add a simple dot to the center of each. And then we'll come back down to our bottom layer, and I am going to grab the dark teal, add a simple stem, and then the lighter teal I'm gonna use to just do a few dots between each of these segments, except for the middle. And that flower is done, super simple. Since we pinched all our layers together yesterday, you can see I have a stray mark here on this layer, and it's hard to see because it's white. If that happens to you, turn off your background layer for a second, and then you can see where that stray mark is. Gotta be on the layer. And then you can erase it out and then turn your background color back on. So yesterday we pinched our layers together, so this time we will group them. So you just wanna swipe right on all your layers so that they're all selected, and then tap group. And then you can open and close it easily and rename it. We can just name it Flower 29. And now it's all on one layer, but you can still easily edit each layer versus when we pinch it together, it's harder to go back and edit. So what I usually like to do, and I've shown you this in the past, but it's been a little while. So we can, a whole group layer, you can swipe left and duplicate that entire thing. So a lot of times I'll keep this layer as my original, I'll turn it off and just drag it to the bottom. So I always have a copy of it. And then you can tap this layer and click flatten, and it becomes all one layer. But if I want to edit it, I can always go back to my original version, make more copies if I need to, and edit it a little more easily than when it's all on one layer.